And they realized that recently they had a big fuss at the funeral home because a member of Parliament died. And somebody jokingly says, these goddamn son of a bitches, we should just kill them. That'll keep the business going. And so they're all drunk and they're all talking about who they're going to kill and they're laughing and all. And then they all go back to work. And then a couple of them get together and say, you know, this is not such a bad idea. And so they make a plan. And the plan is that they will use the union network, the operating engineers that had access to the ventilators into the Speaker of the Parliament's office, right? The various, there's a woman who gets involved, Benita, has a witches' coven of working witches. And one of them is a call girl for one of the Prime Minister. One of them is a cook in one of the retreat centers where a lot of these guys go. And so they all, this group of women have this long-standing relationship, but they've all had these really hard lives. And ultimately, Benita takes control of this process, and she starts, and suddenly some of these guys start dying, and nobody can understand how. And then at some point, Johan, who had been was the guy who was, he's given union leave by the chief steward to organize the murders of the Parliament to increase the business so the union workers can get their contract. And so, but Johan is really starting to freak out. That they've already killed a couple of these guys. They had these giant funerals. The funeral home is bursting. It's all over the newspapers and all. It looks like their union contract thing is going to be settled, you know. And Johan is really starting to freak out. And he goes to Benita, you know, freaking out about this thing to try and see, can they stop this now, you know. You know, last night I woke up in the middle of the night in a sweat, dreaming that the police are at my door with a hangman's knot, waving my own little skeleton in their face when I answered the door. Benita, this is a sign, Benita. Something's got to stop.
So, Johan, you got me into this, and now you're backing out? Did you really think this was going to be easy? Harmon's okay, thank God. Let's go see him together as soon as they let us. I'll do a special chant for him tonight. And don't you worry about the dreams being a sign. That's my specialty. And I can tell you it wasn't a sign of anything except that you're nervous. Shit, I've been nervous about half the things I've done in my life. Harmon, did you really think this was only about our jobs? Come on, you know better than that. It was more about evening the score and maybe evening the whole playing field. And it was about justice, and it was about dignity, and it's about hope. And it's about really standing up and really doing something. How many people have died and suffered because of these bastards? Maybe thousands. How many people are unemployed and they can't afford their medicines, and they've lost their homes, and they've lost their pensions, and they went to jail? None of these guys and their rich friends have those problems. Just listening to the ladies making jokes in the supermarket yesterday about these guys dying and the prostitutes in their room. You know, Harmon, people are liking this, even if they don't understand it. It's like they're cheering for us, and it's hitting them in the gut. Let me tell you something, Johan. I think this could be bigger than we ever thought. I mean, really, really big.
I think you're going crazy. I mean, what are you talking about? We could go to jail. We could go to the electric chair.
Think of it this way, Johan. We could end up in charge.
What?
Here, eat my favorite dish. It's full of spices. It's gonna, get you going again. Here.
Oh, God help.
us. That's why we're winning.
Oh. Anita. Is this the right thing to do? I mean, aside from the fact that we're risking our lives, are we murderers? Are we really, like, murderers?
Well, of course we aren't murderers. Not like those guys. Just, you know, let me worry about that part, right? You have to admit, it's going to be way better than ever imagined. We have already succeeded at saving the morgue, and we're almost finished our contract without giving them a fucking arm and a leg. So, hey, all is well, as if all we want's the fucking shitty status quo, right?
I'm just a little guy. Always been a little guy. Never thought I ever could be big. Sure, I like to yell a lot. Give the boss some hell a lot. Make someone who's smaller dance the jig. But I was taught to watch my face. Go to church and mind my place. Never get my drunken dad too mad. And if I ever went too far, when daddy came home from the bar, he'd beat me till my mom put him to bed.
But your daddy's dead and gone. Your new family's come along, and you are not a little guy no more. This is a big time fight we're winning. I can smell it and we can win. Is life a union contract and no more? They're running scared.
So am I.
They're playing rough.
That makes me cry.
I need you in my corner.
Ay,
Let's dance.
Oh.
We can win.
Are you sure?
It's been written.
How much more?
Phase 2 will make them all skidoo.
And what do I have to do?
We'll just cry some more, but keep on thinking.
You and I, but Harmon's sinking.
Well, everyone will join us as we go.
I kind of like that big guy stuff.
Let's go.
If the bosses all disappear, who will keep us all in fear? And if the bosses bubble burst, who will end up being cursed? Not the best, only the worst. The first will be last, the last will be first.
So, they keep on going, and the Parliament essentially panics, and all the people who start announcing early retirement, all the people who are going to stop running, and the Parliament essentially freezes. And then something happens to a couple of the major CEOs. And the workers have just come back. One of the workers, the union leaders, has just come back from Mondragon, which is in the Basque country in Spain, where there's a $25 billion area of cooperative worker-centered worker production. It's been there for many years, and it's this whole region where all the everything is run by the workers. The workers are the managers. The workers are on the board of directors. The workers make the decision. And they went to visit them to see what was going on there, and now they invite them in. And they essentially, in the end, they take over and they win.
Woohoo!
Hey. And the character that Annie plays that walks in between all the scenes and comments on what's going on is inspired by my mother.
You want your house to come back up and be back?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Oh, definitely.